So the sets getting them more energy. Granted, that doesn't actually matter as much. I guess Odie's still at elite, and actually I haven't upgraded Odie's weapon to plus 15 just yet either. That would help a bit, give him more stats and all. But let's talk about the two other pieces besides the Rhynear here. Now the Rhynear really is doing good because of the legendary effect he now has. He has quite a bit of healing, and then it's just it targets 2 allies instead of 1. A lot of times now in certain bosses you can do without even having a normal healer like a Smokey or something, which really makes this combo worthwhile. I know you've probably seen Cassadee highlighted on Zebo's videos and stuff like that. She's absolutely amazing. Of course, she gets more ultimates with more energy, but again, we're going up against Snow Stomper. Snow Stomper doesn't do a ton. However, she's got a couple really cool things. Her Mythic Plus Azure Staff Title Blessing grants all allied heroes in the path a temporary buff, empowering their next 6 normal attacks. So she is there not necessarily for damage, but for buffing the damage of our other heroes that do an absolute ton of damage. Also, Title Strength Positioning matters here as well, because she selects the nearest ally when the battle starts. In this situation, I think we picked Odie in this spot, granting them the blessing of Title Strength. They deal extra magic damage, and then she continues to cast this throughout the battle after certain amount of time, essentially. So that's always really good. Beyond that, she has haste, which is awesome. We already talked about the Title Blessing. The other thing that's really good when you get her to Supreme Plus, and I feel like you kind of need her at Supreme Plus to really maximize the strategy, Cassadee reduces the magic defense of enemies hit by Running Tide by 20%. So we're not running a hero like Carolina that can do that. So Cassadee does very well. Her season ability doesn't do that much. It does give her more energy, but again, we're going up against Snow Stomper where ultimates don't matter. This magic defense ripping is really good, which is also another reason why we are running Satrana. I know you're like, Satrana, Barry, what are you doing? Why are you building this hero? Well, very similar reasons, and it's more or less for her buffing abilities. Mainly her season skill, Arcane Focus. She has like a 2-tile AoE around her that basically those targets are going to take additional magic damage. Now you could say you could probably run like a Thorn or something like that, or even like a Floribel and such, and they have, you know, enemies take more damage in general. That could work. However, Satrana is more than just her arcane focus. She does also give survivability to your team here. So when an enemy hero is ignited, the magic damage taken by Satrana is reduced by 16%. She also grants this to the most nearby ally, which is usually in this situation our Alsa. Keeping that enemy ignited keeps the damage reduction on our Alsa. She is a melee hero, even though she's mage, so she does have just built-in damage reduction stuff. But the other thing that's really good is Ignite Passions. This is an AoE 2 tiles around here when the battle starts. So again, another one where positioning really matters. And this basically says when Satrana or allies with Spark deals damage to an enemy 3 times, the target is burned, taking additional damage every 1 second and reducing their vitality. The skill damage can't receive, exceed a certain amount of her attack, and the effect lasts until the end of battle. Beyond that, you can also lower the vitality even more. If you guys are questioning, Barry, what is vitality? Just remember, anytime you can come in here and take a look, every point of vitality increases the effectiveness of the units receive shields and healing. I actually don't know if that's relevant against Snow Stomper. I feel like it's not in some PvP situation it can. But again, between this bonus damage and Cassadee also providing bonus damage as well, that just really ramps up the total damage of our team, and that's why this works out so well. Beyond that, we are going with the Crescent Spell artifact because we're doing so much damage with magic damage. This AoE becomes huge. It doesn't even matter that it's AoE, it just does a ton of damage overall, and of course it goes farther up and then enhances it when you go past it. Really can't wait till 20 because it's going to do even more of the team attack, and the fact that we have so many offensive heroes now in this team, we don't have to have as many support heroes to survive, means that damage is going to go even higher with that artifact. Next up, let's see if this works in the Hell difficulty. So let's get this squad in, see if we can break into the top 10. And again, positioning matters. This is that little AoE we were talking about based on Cassadee's positioning. You want to keep all of your allies in a column to get hit with Cassadee's ability as well. Very, very important to do that. And again, we are running Crescent Spell. I don't know if our survivability is here though, but the one nice thing with this type of team too is anytime he does that ice block ability on one of your allies, it's almost instantly broken. And you can see on Satrana right here, that blue aura, that is the range of targets that if they're within that range right there, they're going to take that additional magic damage. It does look like we might not be able to do this strategy just yet on Snow Stomper until we are a little stronger, because as you guys can see, we are running into some issues as far as survivability goes, but I thought it was really cool that I couldn't get past that point with a normal defensive team, because you saw we went down to the wire on the time on that. We needed as much offensive power as possible, and once we did finally get that offensive power, we were able to make a ton of progression. So breaking into this difficulty is really, really tough. Looks like we might hit the 30% mark, which is not bad. I'm sure with a more defensive team, we'll be able to get further in this, but again, as your team powers up, as you get better gear, all these things happen. You're able to transition back over to a more offensive team, and that's where if I didn't have Cassadee and I didn't have Satrana built up, I would be stuck on that difficulty for at least probably another week, since there's 6 enemies here, or 6 bosses. Yeah, that could definitely make a difference. Of course, going to more offensive is going to be good, but you can see right here, even though I did break into it, which is a very hard task to do to get to this difficulty of boss, once that happens, you do have to go back to a more traditional team. So let me know what you guys think. I love showing you guys these weird, quirky combos of heroes that actually do work, especially with these season skills. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys find any other cool combinations, leave a comment down below. Let me know what it is. I'll try to build it and make it happen. See you guys next time.